Now, I know everyone doesn't agree with me, but personally, I think over the last couple of Pokemon games, the series has slowly starting to get worse and of worse quality. I just feel like they could be doing so much more with what they have, and it feels like they choose to do the absolute bare minimum just to make some money. However, it is in the darkness that the light shines brightest, and that light in the darkness of the last couple games for me was Pokémon Legends Arceus. Now, I admit it was far from perfect, and I think it could definitely have used some polishing. For example, a lot, but not all of the Pokemon kind of just, they wander around and just wait for you to catch them, and I think that could definitely be improved with some additional animations. For example, maybe some of them could be interacting with each other, while others are scavenging for food or sitting on eggs, or maybe two wild Pokemon are fighting. I'm sure you can understand what it means, and it helps the world feel a lot more alive and lived in if they were to include animations like that. I'd also like to see, a lot more of a balance to the strong and agile styles of combat, and there's a chance that we might just get all these things and more. There's a lot of crazy rumors flying around, and assuming game development is handled correctly on the new Pokemon Legends ZA, this could save Pokemon for me. Now, I've been out of the video game loop for, a couple of months now, and now that I'm back in, diving in head first, there's a lot of rumors that I've been seeing about this game, and I honestly don't know where to even start and what to believe and what not to believe. I do know for a fact that the game takes place in a version of Lumio City where an urban redevelopment plan is underway to help shape the city into a place that belongs for both people and Pokemon. Now, I don't know if that means it's taking place in the past or future, for sure, but I think the past is a safe assumption to make. Personally, I was thinking we were going to get a Legends Kyurem or Celebi game, so the game taking place in Kalos honestly came completely out of left field for me. And you know what? I'm actually happy the game is taking place in Kalos. Kalos is a region that a lot of people, including myself, have thought have lacked a bit of substance and definitely needed a third version. And since we never got a Pokemon Z version, I'm very, very happy that we're going to get a Pokemon ZA to add some more context and flavor to that region that I felt definitely was a little bit bland compared to others. And there's a lot that I'm hoping to see from this game, and people all over the world have some very, very high expectations for this game. So let's take a look at some things that are rumored to be in the games, and I'd personally like to see in Pokemon Legends ZA. Firstly, let's talk about rumored Pokemon. The Kalos region originally didn't have a lot of new Pokemon. I think it's 72 based on a quick Google search. And I'd like to see every single one of those Pokemon get prehistoric versions of themselves. Plus, some Pokemon who would be considered extinct that don't currently exist these days. For example, like Cleavor was in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Plus, there's a bunch of other Pokemon that maybe can be found in other regions that are included in this region in their prehistoric forms. That would be amazing too. These are just unconfirmed rumors from what I'm seeing online, but it's possible we might be getting Superior, Empoleon, and Cinderace as our starters, with Superior being a Steel Grass type, Empoleon being Water Fighting, and Cinderace being Fire Fairy. Again, this is not 100% confirmed, but all three of these starters are starters I normally wouldn't use in their respective regions, so I'm definitely excited to try out what would basically be, new starters for me, and I'd love to see the designs that they get with their new typings. And I'm just going to go with the one that looks the coolest because I don't really know much about either of these three. And on top of that, we're rumored to get new Mega Evolutions. And now I think Pokemon has overused the concept of new Pokemon transformations every generation, but I remember when Pokemon first came out with Megas. I loved them so much, and it would be so nice to get that throwback feeling with some new Mega Evolutions. It's also rumored that de-evolution may be possible in this game, and I don't know exactly how they plan on implementing this or even how they would do that or what impact it would have on the gameplay and overall story, but it's definitely an interesting concept. I'm curious, if I evolve my Eevee with a stone and then de-evolve it, will I get my stone back? Like, is it just going to poop out the stone? If that's the case and Eevee's in the game, I am 100% using it for sure, just for the endless possibilities I might have. Also, I'm curious on how that will work for like friendship-based evolutions and whatnot, and there's so many other types of evolutions that maybe we can think about, certain location-based evolutions. How would de-evolution work in that sense? So they have a lot to figure out if that's the case, and boy, these rumors keep getting crazier and crazier, because apparently there's a chance we might be able to travel through different periods of time. And now, personally, I think this one will depend on if we have a Switch 2 out by the 2025 release date or not, and I don't know much about the console and game development, but if we get to go between different times And that probably means that somewhat we're going to need different open world maps, one for the past, one for the present, one for the future, or however they plan on doing it, right? And I don't know if the Switch itself can handle that. Now, if the Switch 2 is out by then it's a completely different story, because that, I'm guaranteeing you, is going to be a much more powerful console than the Switch is. Now, probably not going to be on the level as, the PS5 and the Xbox One, but it definitely is going to be stronger than the original Switch. So looking forward to that as well. And there's definitely some other things that haven't been rumored yet that I definitely would like to see as well. Firstly, I'd like a fully open world without there being a little hub world that transports you to different places. I'd like all of it to be, together. If I could just leave the town and then just walk in any direction I'd like, and then, catch Pokemon and whatnot along the way, I think that would be amazing. And if we can do it in Scarlet and Violet, I think we can do it in ZA, and it would help to keep, that immersion going of that open world, and it would feel great. And secondly, I'd like to see more boss battles and more of a challenge to those boss battles. And I know a lot of people may prefer the focus on catching and the Legends games, but I don't see why we can't do both. Obviously, we can focus on catching, and then we can also have boss battles on the side as well. And I think it would add some depth to the game, and to the very least, I would also like to add more depth in the form of some side quests and missions and other activities to make the world feel lived in and alive. And the big thing with those is, please don't be repetitive. If it's the same thing over and over again every town you go to, or every other person you see along the road just giving you basically the same side quests, and there's not really a point. Then it gets boring and annoying, right? But as long as it's not repetitive, then I definitely would appreciate that type of love into the open world. And I'm very, very excited to get my hands on Pokemon Legends ZA, and all the rumors only serve to make the excitement grow more and more as we get closer and closer to the release date. What rumors do you believe will be true? And what other rumors have you been hearing that I didn't cover today? And how excited are you for the release of Pokemon Legends ZA? Let me know in the comments below. This is Plot Armor Games signing out, and we will see you in the next video.